Now let us summarize the whole process of charging, discharging at the capacitor, and growth and decay of current at the inductor, and the simple harmonic variations of Q and Q at the capacitor and I at the inductor. At t equal to 0, the capacitor is fully charged and connected to the inductor. The capacitor starts to discharge, and this charge flowing through the inductor builds up a current I in the inductor. This current is from top to bottom through the inductor. The current increases from 0 to I max, that is Im. At this interval between t equal to 0 to t equal to capital T by 4, the charge on the capacitor reduces from Qm to 0. Electrical energy at the capacitor is given by UE equal to half Q square by C, where UE is the electrical energy at the capacitor at any time t, and Q is the charge on the capacitor at that time t. Similarly, the magnetic energy stored in the inductor at any time t is given by UB equal to half Li square, where UB is the magnetic energy at the inductor at the any time t, and I is the current through the inductor at that time t. As the capacitor discharges, Q decreases, UE also decreases. Simultaneously, I increases at the inductor and UB also increases. The figure A shows the charge on the capacitor and current through the inductor at t equal to 0. Here Q equal to Qm, that is maximum, and I is 0 at the inductor. So UE equal to Qm square by 2C and UB becomes 0. Also, for a spring in some simple harmonic oscillation, at any instant t, PE equal to half kx square and Ke equal to half k into a square minus x square. The potential energy of the spring is analogous to electrical energy at the capacitor, and kinetic energy of spring is analogous to magnetic energy at the inductor. So in figure A, UE equal to Qm square by 2C, UB equal to 0. Correspondingly to oscillations in the spring with mass at the amplitude position A, U equal to half Ka square and T kinetic energy is 0. Now come to figure B. Figure B shows the status of the circuit at any time t between 0 and t by 4. That is 0 less than t by 4. There is some Q less than Qm at the capacitor, and there is some current I greater than 0 at the inductor. Analogously, the mass in the oscillating spring can be imagined to be in between mean position and amplitude position. So, for the spring, potential energy U is not 0 and kinetic energy K is also not 0. In the case of LC for similar status B, UE equal to Q square by 2C not equal to 0 and UB equal to half Li square also not equal to 0. Figure C gives the status when the capacitor has its charge fully drained and current at the inductor is Im. The time for this status from start is t by 4. At the end of this stage, UB equal to half Lim square and UE becomes 0. Analogously for the spring, the mass can be imagined to be at the mean position. So U equal to half Kx square equal to 0 and kinetic energy T equal to half Vm square. At stage 4, that is D, current starts decreasing in the inductor from Im to 0. This current, however, flowing from top to bottom along the inductor. This current will build up charge on the capacitor such that the bottom plate is positively charged and top plate now gets negatively charged. In effect, The charge of the capacitor increases from 0 to Q, and that is such that 0 is less than Q max at any intermediate instant. And the current at the inductor decreases from I max to I such that 0 is less than I max. At that instant, UE is not equal to 0, UB is not also equal to 0. Analogously, for the spring, U is not equal to 0, T is not equal to 0 for X between 0 and A. Now, in the figure E, capacitor has maximum charge Qm with lower plate positive and upper plate negative, and I through the inductor is 0. UE equal to Qm square by 2C and UB equal to 0. Analogously, for the spring, U equal to half Ka square and T is 0. It can be shown that Q at T at capacitor and I at T at the inductor both vary simple harmonically with time. Thus, Q at T equal to Qm cos omega T. I at T equals d by dt of Q at T, which is minus Q naught omega sin omega T. Note, Qm and Q naught mean the same thing, that is maximum value of charge. Now, this is equal to minus I naught sin omega T, where I naught equal to Q naught omega. As before, I naught is I max, which is Im. Q naught is Qm, I naught is Im. Now, the PD across the inductor, VL, is given by L into di by dt, and the PD across the capacitor, Vc, is given by Q by C. Applying Kirchhoff's voltage rule for the tank circuit, VL plus Vc equals 0, which means L into di by dt plus Q by C equal to 0, which means L into d by dt of dq by dt plus Q by C equal to 0. In other words, L into d square Q by dt square plus Q by C equal to 0. That is, dividing throughout by L, d square Q by dt square plus Q by LC equal to 0. This is a differential equation of the form d square Q by dt square equal to minus Q by LC, which is similar to d squared x by dt square equal to minus omega square x for an oscillating spring. Comparing the two equations, omega squared equal to 1 by LC or omega equal to 1 by root of LC. Now, considering the energy of the LC circuit, UE at T, that is electrical energy at the capacitor, is Q square by 2C equal to Q naught square cos squared omega T by 2C. The energy at the inductor is UB at T, which is half of Li square equal to half L into I naught sin omega T the whole square, which is half L into I naught squared sin squared omega T. That is equal to half L into I naught is Q naught omega. So, the energy at the inductor is half L into Q naught omega the whole square sin squared omega T, which is half L into Q naught square omega squared sin squared omega T equal to half L Q naught square into 1 by LC for omega square into sin squared omega T, which is Q naught squared sin squared omega T by 2C. Now, adding the two energies, UE plus UB equal to Q naught square by 2C into within brackets cos squared omega T plus sin squared omega T. That cos squared omega T plus sin squared omega T is 1. So, the total energy is Q naught square by 2C, which is a constant at all times. Thus, total energy in the LC circuit is conserved. This is quite evident since there is no loss of power, we have already seen, at the inductor nor at the capacitor. Thus, total energy remains a constant.